Let's start with d4, red Elland. Oh, Dutch. The Dutch defense. Play a fianchetto. And do I want to bring the bishop out of the pawn chain? Maybe I do. Before I play, I'm going to play e3 here. And my bishop can get trapped over here. So I've got to be careful, make sure that there's always something to attack with it. There, I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I've got the knight can come to this square, but he's got a pawn that can go there. My knight could go here. Anyway, let's get castled, and I'm going to finish my setup with c4 and knight c3 here. Do I care about that? If he takes, I can take back. Yeah, it's not a problem. If he pushes, then that opens up a square for the knight here, and then here. So he's gone there. So if I push this pawn, he will probably lock it up by pushing his c pawn forward. If I push my c pawn, he can take and take. So try to get another pawn going here. I just want to put some pressure on that c6 square. Got the bishop on it already. Maybe I can play b5 here. Put the rook on the b file first, maybe. And this setup here with the pawns and the knight is aimed at discouraging his f4 push, which is one of Black's ideas for counterplay here. Ah, he found a weak spot, didn't he? So if I bring my queen up to defend, he can kick the queen away like so. If I push this pawn forward, it now hits the bishop. I guess that's the way to deal with this. So this will get some exchange. I don't like to get a totally closed position. So I can take here. And I can put a knight here. Ah, I see. If I put the knight here, he can trade and then take this pawn. Well, I guess I will put up with that. I'll bring my rook to the b file and try and get a pawn back. Yeah, these Dutch positions are very tricky to play. Don't say I have a real handle on it. I can't say that I've got a real... Actually, if he takes the knight with the bishop, I can take back with check, and I'll have time to save this pawn. Yeah, that's the weakness. The weakness of the Dutch. This diagonal open to the king. So he's thinking again. Got to be careful when they start thinking. He can push this pawn with the tempo on my rook, but I'll maybe just put the rook on b1. It's where it wants to go anyway. So he's indirectly kind of looking at this pawn. Yeah, let's get my rook off that diagonal. Now I can kick that knight. I can take this bishop and then take the knight. I guess when I take this bishop, he's going to take back with the queen because he needs to. Oh, no, the queen's defending here. Let's double up on the d file here with the queen and rook. I can take this bishop off with check and then maybe grab a pawn here, although it leaves this pawn hanging, so maybe it's not so great. And my bishop will be attacking the knight here if I have a queen or a rook there. Maybe it's okay. Okay, so yeah, he's doing something on the queen side here. Let's continue with my plan. I mean, on the king side, he's pushing them pawns forward. I'm not yet seeing something that's super scary, but we'll see. It all depends on how he evolves it from here. So bishop takes knight, knight takes bishop, queen takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, then I can play bishop takes knight, so that's probably, oh no, so he did decide to shut that down. I was wondering if he was going to do that. So we will take here. And now this is hanging, this is hanging. And the knight is not going to be hanging because my bishop's diagonal has been shut down. I can put my knight out here. He takes the pawn. And I take the knight. Maybe I just defend here. Just defend that pawn. Right there, yeah. So he's attacking this pawn, and he's looking at some good squares here. So let's push. Yep, he can do that. Okay, can't put my rook there, huh? I guess it goes there. I wanted to put my knight to this square, but I needed to save my rook first, I guess. So I can put the knight there now, but then he can take this pawn. He's setting up this counterattack. So let's maybe get the queens off here. Looks like he's got a good game here. Looks like he's done well. The only thing I've got going for me is a slight time edge. I can grab this pawn or this one. Here I was planning to attack the bishop. But yeah, he's gotten into a good endgame here. Yeah, let's take here. And he takes there. So, and this square is covered. Let's try and liberate my bishop here. And undermine his knight. Yeah, my pieces are pretty active. If I can liberate that bishop, I'll be in good shape. So let's go ahead and take. There. Why is he doing that? He wants that bishop. Let's take. Okay, I can move my bishop now. I could push this pawn. Actually, I think knight here is interesting, hitting his bishop. So I can take the bishop, or no, I want to take the knight. I was wondering which one was better to take. Okay, so he's got a rook to here if I move my king this way. I'll just step back. So what's all this? It's actually materially even, and just have that advantage in time. So where do I go with my knight? Here, here. I'm lining up against the bishop. I'm thinking maybe there's something I should do there. Okay, he wants to drop his rook here. Yeah, let's not allow that. And he wants to take that pawn. I'm just having trouble finding squares for my bishop, for my knight. Here, there, I found a square. Aha. Okay, I think this will work out. What is the point of these checks? See, getting my king to an awkward position. The point of the checks is to take my take my knight. Okay, so that was pretty clever. 2 pawns, though. I have 2 pawns for the bishop, and I have a check here. So his bishop is pinned now. Let's start moving these guys forward. Okay, he unpinned the bishop. It's tricky. I wanna push these pawns up. Ho, 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 that was nice. But he moved his rook back to the wrong square in the time scramble. So this is a draw now. Okay, well, interesting game. Let's see if we can get another one. I guess I'll play e4 this time. Well, I'm facing a lot of strong players. Picnicker. Got a closed or open Sicilian rather. Is he going to play the Najdorf? The uber popular Najdorf? He did. I'm just going for the English attack. It's a bit of an unusual move order to play this pawn to f3 first, but it avoids some tricky lines with the bishop or the knight coming out here to g4. I guess it's knight g4 I'm stopping, because after bishop e3, knight g4, the bishop has to move again. It's kind of a pain. It's not a great line, but it's a bit annoying for white. So you play f3 first, you just prevent all of that. And we have a typical Najdorf here, where he's pushed the pawn all the way to e5. Sometimes they stop at e6, but he's gone for the classic Najdorf. That's the way they always played it in the old days. Now that is new. He's pushing the h-pawn so that I can't easily get g4 in. Huh? Let's castle. Means it's going to be difficult for white to find a safe place. I mean black. It's going to be difficult for black to find a safe place for his king. And look at my time. I've been playing too fast. Still in blitz mode from the last game. Okay, what now? Put a knight here immediately. I think I like this idea of putting a knight here. Let's step my king out of the way first. Get it off the open c file. But just let him trade this off and then try and break through in the center instead of trying to do a flank attack, since he's pushed a pawn here and he hasn't castled. Let's see, if his knight goes to b6, I could play queen to f2, line up a battery here with queen and bishop on the knight. I was just wondering, I mean, the knight goes here and he takes it with the knight. If he gets 3 pieces on this square, then he can actually win a pawn there if I try and put a knight there. So I don't really want his knight on b6. Don't really want to just trade off my bishop for his knight. Ah. So that's good. He's encouraging me to do this. So that's my plan. I go here, he takes, I take with the pawn, and the bishop has to move if he took with the knight. Anyway, you don't want to kind of sit here and be a sitting duck for this attack and not have some counterplay. You need to get stuff going. Picnicker. I could take the bishop and grab the pawn. Yeah, so he takes. That's what I was expecting. Now, where does his bishop go? It goes here. Now, I can push here, but do I want to? Maybe I will just oppose bishops, because this is his good bishop, and his good bishop has no square to go to. Then all I have to do is activate my knight. Start pushing pawns in the center. The knight could come around like this. This is a weak pawn, but I do have two pieces behind it. And maybe I'll just push f4 immediately and try and create a weak pawn here. Also open up a line to his king. Yeah, if I got rid of this pawn and I got a knight here and a bishop here, they would be focused on that guy. I guess if I push a pawn forward, he will probably not take, and he shouldn't push because I'll just take it, but maybe he will defend it with the f pawn. But then my queen could come in here on the light squares. That would be good for me too. I think I managed to fall into a good position here because of this style of play that black had here with the h-pawn push and not castling. I think when you play the Sicilian, I think it helps to castle. Sometimes, you know, so he's just going there. Push the pawn anyway. Is there a square I could go to? Let's kick that bishop. I don't want to bring his queen in over here. I'm sacrificing that pawn. If he takes it, I'm going to push the f-pawn. His queen will be tied up defending the bishop, and another line will open towards his king. I'm hoping. Or if he takes my bishop, I'll take back with the queen, and still I'll be thinking of pushing f4. And he won't be able to bring the queen out to stop that. That's not entirely true. He could put the queen on f6. Maybe I should be considering going g3, then f4. Or maybe I should just play f4 as a sacrifice. Anyway, he's considering my offer. My generous offer of a pawn. Pray consider. Yeah, this pawn is loose at the moment, so knight here to here would be... okay, take back. That's pretty obvious. Let's see what his answer is here. Sometimes, you know, you can sacrifice here just to push this pawn forward, but you have to have targets here. That usually works when black is a little more crowded. We've kind of cleared out the underbrush here. It looks like he's going to help me by forcing me to move my knight away. Yep, so we're getting there. Knight to this square next. And, you know, when you keep all your pawns back like this, erase that. When you keep all your pawns back like this, it makes this pawn storm attack a little bit slow. I'm wondering if he pushes to a3. Can I just ignore that if he goes there? I play my knight here, he takes. He's not actually threatening anything immediately, although this pawn will be under fire quickly. Quickly under fire. Probably safest to push. Well, and this would be his ideal scenario. He gets this pawn here, I push. He gets his queen here, and then he pushes that pawn and threatens to mate me there. So, got to watch out for these things. But my knight out here on this square would stop his queen from going there. So his queen went to look at this square. Oh, and it defended the pawn. Okay, so when I take, how is he going to take back? With the knight? Let's find out. Yeah, so I can attack that knight. It's pinned now. And too bad I don't have a pawn to attack it with. He can put his knight to this square or to this square. Let's go here, though. I'm still feeling like I should be aggressive here. Maybe rook here and knight here, ganging up on the f2 square. And exploiting the pin. Also his queen. His queen needs to stay in touch with this pawn, which is needed to defend his knight. So rook to rook to f1, knight to g5, and I am threatening to take here. It's just defended by the queen and the king, and the knight is pinned. And then after I take there, his rook will have to move. So yeah, he goes for the attack. So he pushes. I'm planning to just push. He can take, I can take. Well, if he can come up with something here, I guess more power to him. High castles, okay. That's what we like to see. You're castling now, huh? Should have taken the knight while I had the chance, I guess. Okay, this is loose. This is loose. Not easy to attack both of them. If I drop the queen back to attack this pawn, what does that do? I think I need to reposition the knight, actually. Oh, no. It does do something. Threatens mate. Queen takes pawn, threatening the mate. So I guess he will defend. But that'll create some dark squared weaknesses here. Could also consider, yeah, he had to play that. I could consider G4, but he just takes it with the knight. He didn't like the check. Okay, yeah, my plan was just to push here. His attack is going now. He's concentrating on this weakness here. He's got the knight coming in here. Let's see, I can go here with check, right? If I give up control of this square, his queen could come in with check, which would be annoying. His knight goes there, and I could put my queen here, but then he takes here. Yeah, he kind of pre-moved that. So now my queen can go here. Does he have a check? His queen can't come here with check. My queen can come here with check. Ah, he has that. Let's give the check first. Always check. It might be mate. Then we could play this. Keep control of this square. And maybe take this pawn here. Threatening queen here. Ah, he's got that covered, doesn't he? Is there a better attack? Here to there. How about queen takes pawn? That undermines his knight. Yeah, so he's inclined to take there. Then I'm just a pawn up here, I think. 5-4. Okay, so he's going there. He is going to, yeah, he's going to get that pawn back. Huh? Can I find a, let's see, with his rook here, a check here would be nice. But I can't go here, he just takes it. How else do I get to that square? Or this square? This is the one. I go here, he takes, I go here, check, right? That's the way you do it. So I would have come out a pawn up anyway. But nice game. So that's it for this session. See you guys next time. Bye now.